Hey guys, how you doing? It's your girl BeeSparrow, Buzzz Tweet Talk Radio. How y'all doing today? I'm doing just fine. I'm thankful to be amongst the living. And if you're within the sound of my voice, I'm thankful to the Most High that you are amongst the living too. Once again, it's time to talk about my favorite detective, my favorite all-time detective. Okay, wait a minute. I'm trying to think if Jethro Gibbs from NCIS is my favorite. Nah, Alex Cross is my favorite. That's what we talking about, y'all. Alex Cross. We started out with season 1, episode 1, The Hero Complex. Washington, D.C. Detective Alex Cross. He is tasked with investigating the chilling murder of a Black Lives Matter activist. His name was Emir Goodspeed. He was found seated in his car with his head shaved. And that right there, that within itself, that sparked a lot of alarming questions because he had converted into the Muslim religion. The Muslim, how can I say? He became a Muslim. He converted into Muslim. And another thing that stuck out, and especially to Alex Cross, my favorite detective, was what Amir had eaten before he was found unalive. And that was pork. There was some pork found in his stomach. And that's when Alex Cross knew that something was wrong because Amir did not eat pork. And that's kind of my summary without telling too much. I realized in the past video that I tried to record, I told a little bit too much. So maybe that's why my mic wasn't working that good in that audio. But I did talk about the scarf that Maria had on. Maria was Alex's wife who was unalived. They had they were on the wharf in Washington D.C. watching a Commanders game. Alex, his wife Maria, his best friend John Sampson, and his dates. The ladies got up to excuse themselves to go to the restrooms, right? Gunshots rang out. By the time John and Alex got to them, Maria was on the ground, bleeding out. She ended up bleeding out in Alex's arm. Now, when Maria got up from the table that they were sitting at, she had on a commander's scarf. She had on a commander's scarf, but when she was on the ground, that scarf was not found. The scarf was not there. And without going into too much, it did show up later, but my question is who took the scarf? And nobody saw it. I guess everybody was busy hitting the deck when the gunshots rang out, that no one saw who took the scarf. Hmm. I think in I think we meet El Monterio, who is Alex Cross's love interest. I like her. Played by Samantha Walkins. I think that's her name. I could be wrong, a little off with the last name, but I like the two of them together. The energy is nice. And that takes me to episode 2. They're still trying to figure out what happened to Emir Goodspeed. Everyone is talking about it across the city, Washington D.C. Everybody want to know what happened, who did it, how, and all of that good stuff. But in the midst of all of this, Alex is kind of having a hard time with the loss of his wife. It's been a few months, it's been a couple of months, maybe a couple of years, but he's still having a hard time. But he's, in the meantime, investigating this murder of Emir Godspeed. If y'all just tuning in, we're talking about Alex Cross, the Cross series on Prime Video with Aldous Hodge and Aldous Hodge being Alex Cross and John Sampson, played by Isaiah Mustafa. Mustafa. So Emir had left a message, had called somehow got a hold of his phone and called Tavio. Tavio didn't answer the phone, but Emir left a message telling him something happened, something is happening, something is about to happen to him. Come get me, man. Come pick me up. You know, he was scared and he was trying to tell Tavio to come and get him. Tavio didn't answer the phone. Tavio ends up getting unalived too, and the girlfriend ended up taking his phone off the body out of his pocket. Alex was the one that noticed it while they were watching video footage. He noticed that she took the phone. So now everyone is looking for her, right? Everyone is looking for her. In the meantime, Ed Ramsey, our protagonist of the show, however you want to say it, he is putting together his next victim. He's about to start working on his next victim. And these are the kind of people that Alex Cross deal with, whether you're reading a book, watching a movie, watching a series. He is a forensic scientist, what can I call him? A detective. He's I don't know what else. He's just everything. One of my favorite, favorite, favorite detectives. One of my favorite detectives. If not my favorite. Oh, Jethro Gibbs from NCIS, you right up there with him. Episode 3 is where we are now. By now, Alex has suspected that Ed Ramsey is their serial killer. No one believes him. No one believes him. Ed Ramsey's nice looking, rich, he's smart, he's funny, he's charming. And so, of course, no one believes Alex. Alex seeks a search warrant to search some property belonging to Ed Ramsey, but the judge initially denied his request. He said there was no evidence, insufficient evidence, he said. But after a while, he did some reconsidering. He reconsidered, and eventually the judge grants Alex the warrant. And the victim that Ed Ramsey, in the meantime, wakes up. She wakes up not knowing where she was, didn't know what was going on. And she was very afraid, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Oh. So, Alex thought that he had a suspect and raided a home connected to Emir's murder. But the suspect somehow escapes. However, he does leave behind a uniquely incriminating piece of evidence that narrows the list of suspects to exclude from the group within DC's elite. And that's where we are. We're going to talk about DC's elite in the next episode, where we'll be reviewing episode 4, and it's called Mask. I'm BeeSparrow, Buzzz Tweet Talk Radio. Y'all, holla at y'all girl, okay? Well, all right.